England must get set to face a cauldron of hate in Cardiff for Six Nations showdown with Wales. Of all the places where I've played rugby, nowhere comes close to Cardiff in terms of the pure hatred you experience as an Englishman. As a stadium, it pushes you to the limit of your mental strength. Professional athletes talk about being in the zone, but try saying that when 60,000 Welshmen are calling you a posh W. It's booing, hand gestures, insults. Marler, you're this. Marler, you're that. F off back to England. It just felt like pure hatred. Most of the time, the insults come back to the class divide. Most of the Wales players are from working families, while a lot of the England players are from public schools. If it were a 15-on-15 street fight, the Welsh lads would probably win. England have a few street fighters, but your Elliot Daly's and Henry Slades won't be at the front of the queue for a scrap with Ross Moriarty and Corey Hill. The Welsh play on that to get under your skin. The implication of being called a posh W is that you're soft, but on the rugby pitch you want to be known as the tough guy. When I regrettably called Samson Lee a gypsy in 2016, the Welsh lads had been giving us that chat all game. Wales always seemed to find an extra gear against England. You can do all your analysis, but whenever they played us, they'd be hitting tackles that bit harder, launching themselves into rucks that bit harder, and giving you that extra bit of niggle in a scrap. They grew another leg. It doesn't surprise me that Eddie Jones asked for the roof to be open because the roof traps and all that noise. It takes away some of the Cardiff factor, and that will help England keep alive their Grand Slam bid. Looking at the teams, there are only 4 Wales players: Justin Typuric, Alan Wynne-Jones, Jonathan Davis and Liam Williams, who would make my composite 15. I was tipping England for a 20-point walkover, but without the injured Mako Vunipola, I'm revising that down to a 10-point win. Coaches are like chalk and cheese. It has surprised me how relatively quiet Eddie Jones and Warren Gatland have been in the press. No real bombs have been dropped, but I'm sure they'll have some tactical trick up their sleeves. They are very different characters. With Eddie, little things matter like timekeeping, meetings and analysis. If he calls a meeting for 10 a.m., you're sitting down for 9:45 a.m. Warren did not have much to do with the midweek team on the Lions tour, but I got a bit of a feel for him. He is more relaxed than Eddie. If he calls a meeting for 10 a.m., he will rock up at 10:05 am and say, "Right, is everyone here?" I've been reading that he could be the next England coach. I can't see that happening. I remember the way he celebrated beating England in the 2015 World Cup. It wouldn't feel right. He's been there that long that he might as well be Welsh. Justin's my top tip. One Wales player who blew me away on the Lions tour was Justin Typuric. The lad has spent most of his Test career on the bench behind Sam Warburton, but if he was English he would have started 60-odd Tests by now. His skill level is through the roof. I remember going through a set-piece move off the top of a line-out. I said, "Right, what do we do on third phase?" Dan Bigger said, "Well, Tips is going to hang out in midfield, chip it over the top, then he'll run in and score." I thought he was taking the mick, but we ran it through in training and he pulled it off first time. Joe Marler was speaking to Nick Simon.